Hello there. We are going to talk about separating these three items. Separating iron filings, salt and sand. In case those three are mixed together, how do you separate them? In 4 sentences. In 4 sentences, discuss how to separate salt, sand, and iron filings. Step 1, we use a magnet to separate iron filings from the salt and the sand. Step 1, we use a magnet to separate the iron filings from the salt and the sand. Step 2, we pour water into the salt and sand and then we stir. We pour water into the salt and the sand and then we stir. Then step 3, we filter the sand out of the salt solution. Step 3, we filter the sand out of the salt solution. And finally, step 4, we evaporate the salt solution to dryness. We evaporate the salt solution to dryness in order to recover the salt. Now I'm going to, that was very brief. I'm going to take you through while explaining. Step 1, we said we are separating iron filings from salt and sand. Those three have been mixed together. Salt, sand, iron filings. Step 1, we use a magnet to remove the iron filings from the salt and the sand. We use a magnet because the iron filings are magnetic, yet the salt and the sand are non-magnetic. Step 2, we pour water into the salt and the sand now, and then we stir until the salt dissolves. The salt will dissolve because it's soluble, and the sand will not dissolve because it is insoluble. Step 3, we have to filter. You either filter or decant. Filter or decant the salt solution out of the sand. Filter or decant the salt solution out of the sand. And finally, step 4, we evaporate. We are now remaining with, we have the sand separate from the salt solution. So we get the salt solution and then evaporate that off to dryness. You'll have the 3 separate.